What's up, Packers and Bears fans around the world? I'm here with a very, very special guest that I love to death. I'm here with Chicago fan, fanatic, Chicago Bears, Chicago Bulls, Chicago White Sox, Blackhawks, you name it. Better known on the internet sphere as Sam Sox, but Sam, welcome. Thank you for coming.
What a lovely intro. Thank you, my good man. I appreciate you giving me a call and looking forward to just talking some sports with you.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be one of the craziest football weekends of all time. Let alone this Bears and Packers matchup, which ironically, weirdly enough, is it's only the third time ever that these two teams have met in the playoffs, which is just kind of weird to think. You think of this historical rivalry, and it's like only three times they played, which and one of them was in 1941. This is before World War II, for gosh sakes. It's just crazy. But before we get going here, I just wanted to let you kind of like take the floor for a minute, um, and just tell me like and tell anybody who's listening like how did you become a Chicago sports fan? Was it kind of just ingrained when you were young, or is there like a core memory that you remember, or was it just like you flipping on the TV one day? Just kind of just the floor is yours. How did you become a Chicago sports fan?
Um, yeah. One thing I wanted to add quick, what you were saying about the Bears and Packers in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It made me think about because John Harbaugh just got fired, and I just saw some kind of stat that was talking about the Steelers and the Ravens, where
Mhm.
they're pretty similar. I would say they're just as intense, but I wouldn't say as historic as the Bears and Packers.
Mhm.
But man, Tomlin and Harbaugh have like a combined it's something crazy. It's like I don't know if it's 15 or something. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head,
Yeah.
but like the amount of playoff game, it's like three or four times the amount of times they've seen each other in the playoffs versus the Bears and Packers. And the Packer, I mean, it just shows how the Packers are run as an organization because. I mean, you guys have made the playoffs, maybe not the seed you want, but you've definitely made the playoffs. And, in how many years with McCarthy and then you go straight to LaFleur. It's
Mhm.
kind of bullshit, but and then coming from a Bears fan, that kind of switches coaches, like it's like high school type thing, every 4 years, you just kind of switch your coach. So, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean it's
Pretty crazy. Yeah.
yeah, but
Especially with the John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin thing. I mean, like you said, they met up so many times. I think of the one in 2008. I think 2010. They met up in the AFC Championship. Obviously, John Harbaugh he won the Super Bowl. That blackout game. Remember that against the 49ers where the lights just turned off. Remember that? It was like
yeah.
I can't remember the year. It was like I don't know, maybe 2015 or something like that. But it's crazy. I heard he is going to be interviewing. I mean, he's going to be interviewing the New York Giants, but the Giants are also fucking interviewing everybody. So it's I would imagine I'm pretty sure that John Harbaugh is going to take a job this year. That there's a lot of jobs opening in the Miami Dolphins.
Well,
Cleveland.
I'm pretty sure that's why the Dolphins fired Mike McDaniel. I believe that there were seven or six teams interested in Harbaugh that made a call,
Mm,
but there's six jobs that were total open, including the Ravens at the time.
yeah.
So, and then Miami fired McDaniel. So, I would imagine that that was the other team that made the call on him. And so, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of these other teams, I don't know. I mean, ironically enough, like the Ravens are probably the most attractive job opening
Mhm.
that I can like well-established organization. Honestly, someone that I think would be perfect in that role that would go to that would take that job is Brian Flores.
Yes.
Kind of
Yes.
kind of bringing it back to, our division. Seeing that dude, I mean, my God, the dude is just a monster play caller. I mean, his defenses, he's a no bullshit kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's very Tomlin esque,
For sure. For sure. Yeah.
that Mike Vrabel,
Hmm.
Mike Tomlin, just like no nonsense. Dude's gonna, I mean, maybe a little bit of Ben Johnson now, kind of getting to know more of the way he coaches as a
Hmm.
Bears fan. But I mean, and I've been seeing rumors that a lot of these places want to have Flores and Dayball kind of team up as head coach and coordinator. And I know, and what I've seen is that the Raiders, Tom Brady connection,
Yes.
with both of those guys coming to the Raiders. But man, if I'm those two guys and, they're familiar, Brian Dable is kind of like a hard ass too.
Hmm.
So I don't know, like it might be miserable to play for those guys, but man, he gets results. So,
Right. And,
um,
and oh, by the way, you get the first overall pick this year, so you essentially get whatever pick you want. I'm assuming it's going to be quarterback, at least, talking about the Las
yeah,
Vegas Raiders. So yeah, that's 100%. I can totally see that. That's the rumors I'm hearing too, with Flores going to either the Raiders, or like you mentioned, that black and blue division with the Baltimore Ravens. It just feels like he fits right in with those guys.
yeah, for sure. And I think that he definitely needs another head coaching opportunity. I think, hopefully, the stuff with Tua, more of the stuff that he's suing the NFL for,
Hmm.
obviously, eh, you don't want some of the stuff that you've heard that he did to be like,
Yeah.
if he's got character issues himself, that could create a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude succeeds wherever he goes. And if I'm the Raiders, dude, I'm throwing the bag at him. I need to fucking,
Hmm.
change my culture. You need to set some kind of standard. That was their goal with Pete Carroll. But you bring in like Geno Smith, who kind of was just on this, he was stellar and he kind of did the job, but then your true colors start to show.
Hmm.
And I would like the idea. It's kind of, this is going to bring it back to the Packers too, but I kind of like the idea of, if you're bringing in a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator, and let's just say it is those two guys, and Tom Brady is your partial owner too. I kind of like the idea of like giving the starting job to like a Malik Willis,
Yeah, sure.
with the Raiders. I think that dude, seeing that guy play, dude's got a rocket for an arm. He's a great game manager. I don't necessarily know if he's going to be making, like I think average contracts now are $20 million, right? For like these
Yeah.
like questionable
Hmm.
quarterback starters like Justin Fields and so on and so forth. So the idea of kind of giving that guy like a 2-year deal, let's see what you can do as a starter, and you're kind of throwing the bus at him, because then you get to have, while you're rebuilding your offensive line, you can put Mendoza or whatever,
Yes.
whatever kid you draft, you kind of just develop him for a year and then just kind of see where that goes. But I don't know, like
Hmm.
it, as someone that has only ever known quarterback controversies, it's tough to say, because I think Raiders fans are like, I mean, I get it, like just wanting to see stuff succeed right away. Maybe this is kind of a good segue to kind of get out of a general NFL talk to kind of bring it back to what we really know. Um, but like just look what I saw with the Bears and coming in with Ben Johnson. My expectations were, it sucks because I never necessarily bought into the Matt Eberflus stuff. What I bought into was the idea of what he could do as a head coach.
Hmm.
Um, and good defenses. Can you be a CEO? Harbaugh guy, Dan Campbell guy, something like that. That just runs a CEO, and how to pick coordinators. And then Ben Johnson comes in, and it's just like it just totally rocks everyone's world. So, um, but yeah, like my expectations were garbage. Like I like the idea. I think I knew at the time it was the right hire. I always backed up the idea of Caleb Williams being the right pick. I was never there in Bears fandom. There was a split idea between Caleb and what was called the Hall. So kind of give up another first round pick um, when we got that Panthers pick, and it just kind of turned into a frenzy because people were really big Justin Fields backers, which the dude had some electric plays, and I would love to see him succeed. It's unfortunate that he can't go to a stable kind of situation.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, dude just was able to unlock Caleb. The Iceman comparisons of just dude having ice in his veins, and I guess expectations throughout the year have changed. I kind of wanted to just see them be competent, right? Like that was my expectations, but now it's like, I mean, you're in the playoffs, like you won the division, um,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where it's kind of hard to put expectations, because the last time I truly had expectations for a Bears team was in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the double doink, which haunts me in my dreams still. And, I'm just really excited to kind of see where it goes. My expectations, I think 2 wins in a playoff game is totally doable. I guess expectations now is that I kind of expect them to beat this Packers team in kind of the condition that they're in. But I'm kind of curious to see what you think. Sorry, I
Yeah.
keep rambling.
No,
So
no, and 100%. Ben John, I was really upset when um I first initially heard that Ben Johnson was going to be signing with the Chicago Bears. This was in the offseason, because he had multiple opportunities. He interviewed previous years, and when from all the sources that you hear, it's he chose the Chicago Bears, and me as a Packers fan, I'm like, why? What do you see that me and possibly you have? It's just like, why did you pick this team? And to see where they at, last year in the NFC North, you got Detroit, Minnesota. They were 13-3 and 14-2. Green Bay was 11-5, I believe, last year. Bears were finishing last, and to see how things have flipped. It's clear that Ben Johnson has at least instilled um, this culture and this buy-in. Um, it's just it's just it's just crazy. Like I would not have expected. Um, I expected the Bears not to be worse than they were last year, but to see them win the NFC North and this division's so tough, man. I mean, this everybody has a winning record, and then you see the NFC South. Everybody has a losing record. But what are your initial thoughts? This is only year one too with Johnson and Caleb Williams. What do you see so far with Caleb Williams? And how confident do you feel in him heading into this matchup against the Packers?
yeah, like, you know, oh man, like Caleb is, I wouldn't say polarizing, but like it's just sometimes you see him play and you're just like, the football Jesus comparison comes out and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, like that's him. Like the way he's able to scramble out of a sack, like it's just crazy because like he is not, I wouldn't consider him like the most athletic guy. Like he's a professional athlete for sure, but like you see some of these other guys where it's just like, how are you human?
Yes.
And he's just got a rocket for an arm. His vision of the field. I mean, the thing I would say, a lot of times I would say the biggest concern right now is his accuracy with a lot of Bears fans, and at times myself too. But the other thing is that like his accuracy stuff is more concerning, and I know people want to compare that to the completion percentage, but I would say if you actually watched most of these games this year, the absolute frustration of like your top receiver picks just dropping the ball,
Yeah.
like a Roma Dunze,
Mhm.
just I mean you picked he's a top 10 overall pick, and just to see the ball drops that he has is like, it's just incredibly frustrating. So
For sure.
if that kind of answers your question, right? Like if you're gonna look at
Yeah.
his stats, I would not pay attention too much to the completion side. The dude has an it factor. I mean, you experienced it firsthand. Like his 2-minute drills are like, they're just unbelievable. He gets a play when he needs to. Um, I mean, he gets a scramble when he needs to. It's just like winning is just like intuition to him.
Hmm.
And it's just like you could tell how hard he works on his craft. And so I mean I'm confident. Like I'm really confident in him. Um, and come with Chicago and with my my background, which I guess I didn't even answer your question to start off the the
No, you're
talk
good. You're
of
good.
my background. But I my family's from Tinley Park, and it's just been instilled to me in my blood. I was bathed in freaking uh like beef au jus, I feel like. So it just like runs in my veins. And it's just I have a hard time being confident against the Packers, because the games are never like, there's definitely games that I wrote up this year where on paper was the same thing that happened at the game. If I want to use an example, like
Mhm.
the Browns,
Mhm.
that was a game I was like, you should blow them out of the water, and
Mhm.
they won that game 30-3. Um, and then with the Packers, it's just like this game coming up. Like the Packers have lost like four straight.
Mhm.
Like LaFleur is not necessarily in as comfortable of a position as one would think he would be.
Sure, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like a hot seat, but like it's simmering.
It's heating up. It's warming up.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I get it. Like, if it's kind of tough too, because like I don't I'm kind of curious how you feel about it with like your
Mhm.
quarterback and stuff, but
Mhm.
to kind of top off my answer, I guess, is just that like I'm confident. I think but you have a feisty Packers team that does not like to lose, but also you have kind of, I don't know if Jordan Love has a rust factor. Is he going to
Sure.
come in and not look so hot? And then I know fans, dude, like quarterback controversies are not fun, and I know Malik Willis is being called on by Packers fans to kind of start that game, and it's not happening. Like, you don't give $50 million to Jordan Love to be a bench guy.
No,
So
absolutely not. Yeah. No, yeah.
so
I
I
definitely.
just the Packers are beat up. They're a little discouraged right now. They have to be on the road in Chicago. I mean, all of the cards are in Chicago's favor, and I think that's fair to say. But
Mhm.
I can't fucking commit to a full like, oh, they're gonna win it.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
because
Yes.
I'm just so um, I am just so familiar with how this goes
Yeah.
and how these games go, and
Yeah.
it's never what you think on either side, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this is why I consider you one of the true Bears fans. And I'm not even I think we've talked about this in the past where I'm not the biggest fan of the main Barstool guy. What's his name? Chicago Barstools guy. What's his name?
Big Cat or
Big
Dave?
Cat, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of Big Cat, but what I do like about him is he kind of knows. He's kind of like you, where it's like he's like he's gonna root and toot about the Bears, which you should. You're a fan of them, but I think like deep down he knows, but he doesn't want to say it out loud. But then he'll like talk crap. It's just kind of like stuff like that. But to go to your point with Caleb Williams, yeah, it's crazy to me. Not just these last couple of games against the Packers, but just these last 6 weeks, like defenders will have him dead to right, and he has this superpower of just getting out of these sacks. And me as an opposing fan, it's so infuriating. Like I just don't understand how one can just get a. I can only imagine it's like Rogers was so good at escapability, but I don't even know if it's to this level yet. But I can only imagine this is kind of like what maybe other teams felt like when Rogers was playing for Green Bay. But it's just crazy to me because I'm just very curious to see if the Packers have a game plan when it comes to like having an outside edge guy, like as like a rollout guy to because Caleb Williams he's gonna scramble, he's gonna roll to his left, roll to his right. Is there going to be that extra linebacker that's just eyeing him the whole game? Or is it going to be, it's just kind of played by schematically where it's like, oh, we can't do that. But I'm just curious because I would feel like if I was the defensive coordinator, I'd have a guy, a spy on him, the whole time. But to go to your question too about Matt LaFleur on the hot seat, and Jordan Love, I don't know if rust factor. I genuinely don't know. He could come out here and be super rusty, but sadly enough, we don't really have. Um, a lot of past history to see if he'll be rusty. He has been injured, I think, every year, at least 1 or 2 games. But it hasn't been this long where it's he. I think now it's been what 3.5 games that he's been out. Um, it's just
Yeah. Oh,
it's going
yeah,
to be
because
interesting to see. Everything from what I'm hearing with interviews and in the locker room media is he's very confident right now, as I would hope that he would be. But it's man, I can't even tell you. Tomorrow night on Friday, I will not be able to sleep during this game. I will 100% be up till 2 a.m. I won't be able to sleep. These games always just wreck me inside. They do so much psychological damage to my psyche. Um, and it's just that's the beauty of the sport, though. It's just one team, maybe not as much the Bears, unless if you say otherwise. One team is going to be extremely disappointed, and the other team is just it's going to be like whoever wins this game, it really is house money from here on out. Like it's going to be.
yeah,
I just cannot wait for this.
you know, I'm kind of torn, like me, I kind of live in a world of gray where I kind of am able to see kind of both sides, but
Hmm.
I do have moments where I'm like pretty aggressive on a point, like a point of view I have.
Hmm.
Um, but it's one of those things where I could absolutely see Bears fans seeing the season being a failure if the Packers win um in Chicago.
I
Um,
understand that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things where there was kind of a time, like every, I mean, my God, dude, what do you want to fucking call it? Like every generation at this point, there's like a moment where you're like, oh, the Bears are fucking, they are back in it. And then everything just goes back to normal. I
Hmm.
mean, like, I kind of thought that with Trubisky. As much as I don't want to admit it, like I kind of defended Trubisky more than I probably should have. I thought the dude had some really special plays, and like you just watch him get like a 5 touchdown game, and you don't really want to admit that like your third, and then also like Patrick Mahomes did the thing where it's like you picked Mitch Trubisky instead of Patrick Mahomes, which it's a topic for another time because I don't believe Patrick Mahomes would be the one that is known now if he was on the Bears at that time. But yeah, what I know is that they like we saw that game together where Mitch
Yes.
Trubisky lit up the Packers, and it was a close game, and Aaron Rodgers almost did exactly what he always does and has a dramatic finish.
Mhm.
um and what's funny is to kind of go back to what you're saying about Caleb. He seems to really model a lot of his quarterback play off of Matt Stafford and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So
Two good guys to do that. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, quarterbacks love Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
There's just something about his play that that quarterbacks love. So I'm excited. I think the stadium is going to be electric.
Oh,
Um,
100%. 100%.
I I think that the Packers. I mean, this is an uphill battle. Like on
Oh yeah.
paper, like the Bears are the better team. I would say. Maybe not better, but like, well, let me say
A
this:
lot of
better
talent.
because better without Micah Parsons. If you don't have him, I would argue that the Bears are a better team right now. Just kind of
Yeah.
situationally, I guess, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, Micah Parsons brings just like a different dynamic. I can only imagine, like as an offensive coordinator, it's like okay, we got to see every single play where Micah Parsons lines up just to get like he just like creates that for a defense. But yeah, without having him, it is going to be an uphill battle without a doubt. Like you mentioned, the stadium is going to be fucking rocking. This is one thing I give Chicago fans so much credit, and I too am envious of this because as a life, as a Brewers fan, as a Bucks fan, and as a Packers fans are pretty good, but fans don't show up for their team. Like I always mention, I'm like one of 6 Brewers fans in the entire world. Nobody shows up for the team every
Yeah.
time. St. Louis Cardinals fans show up. Chicago Cubs fans show up at the Anfield Field and just completely blow it up. Same with the Bucks. If you watch any Bucks Bulls game, there is by far more Bulls fans there, without a doubt. And to see that I know a couple of people that are Packers fans that are going to this game, but it is 100%. Like, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be like 90-10 Bears fans there because rightfully so. They're excited. This is a great team, as they should show up. So it's going to be I really don't even know. This to me feels like such a coin flip. On my end, like, it just kind of depends what happens. Is the Bears going to get? Are they going to get these turnovers that they're getting every single game? They lead the league in turnovers. It is Kyle Monangai, who's just been an absolute star for this Bears team, a seventh round running back out of Rutgers. Like,
Right.
same thing as he's Isaiah Pacheco, same seventh round pick out of Rutgers. It's just crazy that they found this guy, and are they going to have success running the ball? This offensive line for the Bears is just completely changed how they ran things. Drew Dahlman, Joe Tooney, Jonah Jackson, just those three interior guys are creating so many gaps in this run game. It's
Yeah.
just it's helping them so much. I mean, look at DeAndre Swift. It was just you know he had for lack of a better word, he was very like last year he was like very middle of the road, like ranked 15th running back, and now he's just he put up like 1,000 yards like weeks ago. It's just crazy to me. But kind of to cap that off, how do you feel this rookie class for the Bears has impacted this team? Because you got guys like Colston Loveland, Kyle Monangai, like I mentioned, um, all these guys like it's just crazy how much they're impacting this team right away.
So, yeah, I mean, like, if you want to review the draft this year, right? Because what came with Ben Johnson also meant that we had to keep Ryan Poles as our GM.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of split, It was kind of a split situation. Reports came out that, like, he was the guy that really fought for Matt Eberflus to get the job, which from a PR perspective, I think it would have been better to kind of come off and just be like, yeah, this guy was kind of forced on me. Um, Luckily, things kind of worked out because I was really heavily, um, I was putting in all of my eggs in the Jim Harbaugh basket.
Makes sense.
When
Yeah.
when he, it just would have been like a cool, just a typical Chicago thing, Chicago quarterback that
Oh yeah.
was mediocre, but then came back and and then led the team to like a Super Bowl or something, right? Like it would have been cool, but and Ben Johnson felt like a pipe dream. It was just
Yeah.
like there's like he's not going to want to come here, like that's kind of how I felt. Um Mostly because of like I was thinking that if Ben Johnson was going to come over, he was going to have his own guy, you know.
Yeah.
Because the Bears did everything ass backwards. Like they hired Ryan Poles, and then they um hired Matt Eberflus, and then they hired Kevin Warren, and then it was like, like the
Mm-hmm.
president of because then it was for a point it was like Ryan Poles was the president of football operations, but then like he lost that title and it went to Kevin Warren. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like a very awkward phase. It's like they literally fucking just stumbled into, Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. So it's like I'll take it. It's very Bears. Like it's very fucking typical Bears.
So
Like
true. So true. Yeah.
yeah, like
It's
just
like
like
Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan.
oh my god,
They
dude.
they
Yeah,
just
like
stumbled on him. Oh, by the way, he's the greatest ever in probably any sport. Yeah.
yeah. And then like, as a Blackhawks fan, it's like you had a tandem of Jonathan Tays and Patrick Kane
Mhm.
for like 15 years. Like and like watching a Hawks dynasty, and then, like
Crazy.
as a White Sox fan, I it's cool to see like like I'm a big Frank Thomas guy, Paul Konerko guy.
Hmm.
Mark Burley got a fucking statue, and like statistically you can say whatever, but you don't understand if you don't watch, right? Like
Yeah.
it was just like, it'd be like if our fucking uncle was on the mound. And
Right.
so
Right.
so like, there's very Chicago's, a city of passion. And you like these players come in and um I it's like something juices them up, and it's like gets them into another gear, when things are going well. So I think for Caleb to go through everything he went through in his first year,
Mhm.
all of the concerns his dad had, because his dad was a big part of that draft process and stuff, and it kind of got thrown back onto Caleb, as his own kind of thought process, and he's spoken about that, but he was right. He's like, the Bears are dysfunctional, um, and I'm concerned that it's not going to allow my son to develop. And
Mhm.
guess what fucking happened?
Mhm.
It was a dysfunctional mess, and he struggled developing. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
100%.
and just I mean, Caleb being short 60 yards of the 4,000-yard passer thing too
Ugh,
sucks.
yeah.
It would have been nice just to kind of put that to bed, because it's just the Bears are synonymous with terrible quarterbacks, and the first thing that's said is, well, they don't even have a 4,000-yard passer, and it's
Right.
like, oh, for fuck's sake, dude, just let it end.
Right, yeah.
So
No, yeah. I'd be lying if I said like I don't love using that picture where it's like they show the picture of every team and all the quarterback faces of the most recent, and next to the Bears it says never. But it's kind of weird though, because it's like it's just a number. It's just a number. Like it could have been 3,900 yards. It's just a number. Like who fucking actually gives a shit? But
that's what Ben Johnson said too.
oh
It's just
really? Yeah.
arbitrary. Yeah, it's funny you said that, because someone asked him, "Are you going to try and hit the 4,000?" And he was like, "I mean, it's not a goal." And they're
Right.
like, "Well, it should be." And
Right.
he's just like, "I don't understand. Like, it's just an arbitrary number. Like, I'm sure there's not 5,000-yard passers." And they're like, "Oh, you'll see, buddy."
Right,
So,
right. He's just like, I want to win any ways necessary. If we got to run the ball every single time because we're getting averaging 6 yards a carry, I'm just going to do that. He just wants to win. It's just, yeah, yeah, I totally get
I
that.
mean, the dude's a maniac. The dude's
Oh
an
yeah,
absolute maniac.
oh yeah.
And I think, I mean, I guess we kind of stumbled off of what we were saying about, like, with the draft class.
Mm.
I guess I'm just kind of giving perspective from me about, like, seeing how Ryan Poles has been drafting. He's a big, what's it called? The RAS, like,
Mm-hmm.
scale.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big RAS guy.
Mm.
He really likes athletic freaks, um, and dudes that score high on that. Um, and I mean, they make, to me, it's just like, I think that score to me is just something that it's easy to kind of point at and maybe determine if it's a good option.
Mhm.
Um, but I think Ben Johnson's the type of dude that can just, like, look at a fucking guy and interview him, and he just seems to be very convicted on his opinion, and it just shows. Like, another thing, it's like, look at our running backs coach is Eric Bieniemy.
Mhm.
you know Dude's a hard ass. I mean, it's crazy that a couple years ago he was kind of a head coaching candidate,
Yeah.
and now he's in our running backs room,
Right.
and it's just like, there. I mean, and Kyle Monangai, dude. I mean, our buddy Josh, who's been on your show. I don't know if he's ever said this on your show, but, like, he's a big believer in not paying for running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and kind of like Kyle Monangai kind of proves him right. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
100%.
because, like, I was kind of adamant about Saquon, because Saquon was, I mean, he was a total possibility to be
Oh,
in the Bears.
100%. Yeah.
Um, and we went with Swift, and it was kind of like, what the fuck, dude?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have had Saquon, and it just would have been, like, awesome. And Josh is like, I wouldn't have paid him that money. And then Saquon went on to have, like, an MVP caliber season.
Right.
And Josh is just like, I still stand by it. Like, he had a good year, but
Mm-hmm.
and then Kyle Monangai comes in, and he's just a fucking monster, dude.
Right.
And
Fresh legs, rookie
yeah,
contract. Like what he's gonna be making what, like $2 million this year, two
yeah,
million dollars next year, maybe $4 million the third year. It's just you get these
yeah.
fresh legs, with this rookie guy, and as long as he keeps sustaining what he's doing, which by all accounts he will be, it's what great return on investment.
Yeah, I mean, like, and then, oh my God, Luther Burden, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Dude should be, I mean, I remember there's a channel I watch, if Packers or Bears fans, listening to this, it's called Bears Now.
Mhm.
Harrison Graham. I mean, he is awesome. but he has a football, like a generalized football show and college football show called Four Verts
Mhm.
on YouTube. The dude's awesome.
Mhm.
And he is someone that is able to like break down. He's someone I go to a lot for like draft
Mhm.
analysis.
Mhm.
He loves college football, and he was just like, Luther Burden should be a first round pick.
Oh
And
yeah.
then like when he fell to the second round, he's like, I have no clue why he's falling.
Mhm.
And the only thing I heard is that maybe it was like a character issue thing.
Mm.
Um, which maybe, I mean, I don't know. I guess if like you're kind of on the draft board, maybe like a late first round pick, early second round pick, I guess it's not too far off.
Mhm.
But I think GM should be kicking themselves in the nuts, dude, for not looking more into this guy because
Um,
holy cow,
oh
what an
man, I could speak for it.
absolute beast.
Yeah, I could speak for it myself. I studied him a ton, and this was before the Bears even drafted him. I said in my live reaction show when the Packers drafted Matthew Golden, when Mark Murphy announced they were drafting a wide receiver, I said on that very spot, seconds before Matthew Golden was drafted, I said, "Is it going to be Golden or is it going to be Burden?" And when he announced Golden, I was very happy about it, but I was also slightly disappointed because all the tape that I saw from him at Missouri, and I studied every single um, wide receiver in this class. The only guy I didn't study was Travis Hunter because I knew it wasn't logistically going to be, he wasn't going to be landing with the Green Bay Packers. So I didn't study his game at wide receiver. But when it comes down to this last draft class with the rookies, there was Ted McMillan, who was drafted by the Panthers. There was Matthew Golden, who was drafted in the first round by the Packers. There was Emeka Buka, who was drafted in the first round by Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then there was Luther Burden, I believe, was the fourth wide receiver drafted. I could make an argument. I like Ted McMillan a lot, but I could make an argument that Luther Burden had the best tape that I've seen out of all of these draft prospects when it comes to receivers, without a doubt. I liked Matthew Golden a lot. I loved his tape. I loved Ibuka. I loved Ted McMillan, but I can make a case that Luther Burden was the best wide receiver, excluding, like I said, Travis Hunter, out of all those guys. He had just absolute his not this his last year at Missouri, but the tape before that, he was just dynamic with the football. Just like he made these crazy catches, and weirdly enough, to go with their characteristics stuff. The only thing that I saw his final year at Missouri, his all of his yardage and stats were down, which was kind of weird because I believe he had the same offense and the same quarterback. It was just kind of like a weird year. I don't know if it was just like a fluky year, but even then, I watched all the tape of that final year, and he just had like an it factor. Not the tallest guy in the world, but he's nice body receiver. I really liked him a shit ton, and when I saw him go to the Chicago Bears, I literally fell to my knees at Lambeau Field when I saw that because I was just like, you had him with Roma Dunze and DJ Moore. I was just like, this is complete nightmare fuel as Packers fans.
Right. Um, you know, I'm definitely not in the college scene as much as you are. I know, I as a Bears fan, I get very familiar with high fucking picks.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like, so that's something that I'm used to. So I tend to find out, like top 10 picks, I'm pretty like familiar with. Kind of segueing into their other top, their first round pick,
Oh my gosh.
Colson Loveland.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, people were pissed,
Yeah.
very mad because Tyler Warren was right there. Look what
Mhm.
he's doing in Seattle. But from what I understand, Colson Loveland fits the scheme that Ben Johnson wants to play.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's
Yeah.
finally coming to fruition.
Oh my.
And he's a beast, dude. He's what I thought Cole Kmet was gonna be.
Oh my. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh. But that Colson Loveland guy, he, like you mentioned, whether it's like just had a slow start getting acclimated with the NFL or what, the first half of the year, he's trying to figure out the NFL. But this second half of the year, oh my, that last game. He looks like a future damn all pro, and it it is not looking good like for this weekend, especially because I think DraftKings currently has him at over under 3 catches. Man, I'd be hammering the up for over 3 catches this weekend. I just don't know who's going to be covering him. I mean, if it's going to be a linebacker like Quay Walker, Isaiah McDuffie, it's just not looking good because man, that kid. I think Tom Brady said in the commentary last weekend that he reminds me of a baby Gronk, which as Tom Brady, you don't just say that shit just because. Like him saying
How
he's a,
many? Yeah, exactly.
it's crazy. I'm praying he's not doing good this weekend, but he seems like a problem in the future
Yeah, I mean, like,
and the now.
to kind of add on what you're saying about Tom Brady too, like, um, he has had the opportunity to say that for multiple years now
Oh yeah.
about some, you know, and the fact that Tom Brady seems to have he's like the anti fucking Troy Aikman.
Mhm.
He's like,
Oh yeah.
like Troy Aikman hates Chicago. And Tom Brady seems to have an affinity for a lot of these young players, the way the team's built. I think a lot of it has to do with seeing how Ben Johnson operates. And like he wanted Ben Johnson. Like he wanted him to be on the Raiders.
Oh, 100%.
So, and just kind of seeing himself be like right about it, which, I mean, being wrong about Ben Johnson, I don't feel like anyone could fault you for that.
Mhm.
My, I remember listening to like sports radio and just, guys calling in and being like, well, I don't know, Cappy. I just feel like, I just feel like we've done the flavor of the week before. It's like,
Right.
because that's, I mean,
Yeah.
it's very much, it can be a coin flip, right? And what's funny about Ben Johnson is that he's the dude everyone thought Aaron Glenn was going to be.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
everyone thought Ben Johnson was going to come in and be this like timid, like fucking nerd that like knows numbers, like fucking Jonah Hill
Right in Moneyball,
in
yeah.
Moneyball. Like he was going to come in and be like, "Oh,
Very
and
analytical, yeah.
yeah, his name was Mark Trestman, who they're thinking of.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
um,
thank goodness for you guys. He's not the next Aaron Glenn because he defensive mind. And then you see the New York Jets. They went a full season, first time in NFL history that they didn't have a interception, which by all accounts is just that's it's like to not get one interception throughout an 18 17 game season. That's like so it is unprecedented. It's just like um how do you not get
lose
an
your
interception?
job.
Right. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about the New York Jets. They are an absolute dumpster fire, and both of our teams are not the New York Jets. So,
The Bears were very close, though. I mean, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
no, yeah, no,
they were very close to being that. So
yeah.
it's very cool to It
Is it a
doesn't really
weight off your
feel.
shoulders?
Yeah, it almost still feels kind of surreal. Like I'm not reacting the way I probably should be reacting.
Yeah.
Um, and I think part of it too, like I guess if I'm gonna be kind of a cynical about it,
Hmm.
like look how many one score games there were this
Hmm.
year that could have gone in the opposite direction.
Sure.
It was like six.
Right.
If they fucking don't win those games, you're looking at a team that's what is that? That's they won 11 games,
Yes.
so that's 5 and so it's flipped. It's
Right.
it's 5 and 11. It's the
Yeah.
same as last year.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So like, you know, um I have kind of a concern for that, more so for the future, I think. Um but like there is a foundation. Um you could argue that the NFC North has the best coaching staff
Oh
all
yeah.
around.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
Um and I think the Packers, I mean, if they move on from LaFleur, dude, I mean, he instantly becomes, I mean, who would you pick? If
Oh
you were a
gosh.
GM,
Oh gosh.
I'm going to ask you this. If you were a GM and Harbaugh and LaFleur I guess sucks because you're a Packers fan and you
Yeah.
know him a little bit more.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you take yourself out of that mindset, who's the hottest candidate?
Yeah, there really isn't a big hot candidate, for this upcoming. You got. I think the top ones are like, now that what's his nuts, Mike McDaniel, he just got fired from the Dolphins this morning, so I'm sure maybe he'll be a hot one. I know Mike McCarthy's still out there. He's going to be getting interviews. There's John Harbaugh, like you mentioned. Man, it's tough. I think it kind of comes back to what you're mentioning about it starts with the top to bottom. You got to have um, your president or owner, whoever it is. You got to find whatever your culture is, and then you got to find it through that interview process of who's going to be that guy to ream your franchise. So it's
Well,
it's
it's
interesting, man. I will say this though. Um, I don't think Matt LaFleur is on the hot seat, but like we mentioned, it's starting to sizzle. But things change dramatically if the Bears beat the shit out of the Packers this weekend. Like if the Bears win like 46-10, oh oh my gosh, he might get fired. Like that is not out of the realm. Um, I think ultimately he's going to get in a contract extension this upcoming off season, but um, man, I could I 100% could see him getting fired if they get their fucking ass beat.
well, like who do you replace him with? Like,
Well, you're not
um,
you're not hiring like an offensive guy within. Yeah, I guess me speaking as a fan, I would want the D coordinator Jeff Halfley to take over because Um, he's the best defensive coordinator in my lifetime, and that's over Dom Capers, who won us the Super Bowl. I absolutely love Jeff Halfley, so I want him. But he's going to be getting interviews as well. He's a hometown favorite for the New York Giants. I know the Giants really like him, but the Giants like everybody. They're just a terrible
yeah,
franchise. But yeah, that's probably who I'd want because I wouldn't hire any offensive mind with that's like in house right now. Um, I
right.
genuinely don't know. I think you just at this point you got something. You got this cohesion with him and Jordan Love. Like why? It's a tough question. Why get rid of that? Um,
Yeah, it
you
would
got you kind
be
of got this thing built, and it's weird because I was listening to something with a former NFL player a couple weeks ago where it's like how long he was saying he got asked how long does a coach's voice last in the NFL, and he said typically unless if you're winning championships like every year, like Andy Reid, a coach's voice dies after year 7, like completely dies. And Matt LaFleur is on year 7. Next year would be year 8. So it's when I heard that, I kind of had this weird thing because I'm like, oh shit, he's already been in the league for 7 years. So it's like,
right.
I think the guys are bought in, but it's gonna be interesting, man. I just want to leave you with these final couple things. Um,
Sure.
it's how do you think I guess before we give our final predictions for this game, just kind of a fun one. Let's just hypothetically say you got your dream job of all time, whether if it's like being a janitor, whether it's being like a scout, a GM, a coach, but you got this job from the Green Bay Packers. Do you take it right away? I asked this to a couple people and they immediately answered yes or no. But I'm kind of curious. Would you, if you got hired by the Green Bay Packers to do your dream job, would you do it
You're asking me as like a Bears fan?
as a Bears fan? Yeah.
I I don't think I'd be able to, dude.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think I'd be able to. I fucking like if I got that job, it would be as a fucking sleeper agent to burn that fucking place to the ground.
I
Like
get it. I
I
get it. And
I gotta drive in to Entitled Town every day and just it sounds awful. I know I've been pretty like middle of the course here with like us talking, but don't get it wrong, dude. I fucking despise that organization.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
um, I wouldn't. I mean, it's stupid, right? And it's like hypothetical, and I get like if someone's like, "Hey, I'll give you $300,000 a year to like
Hmm.
just be on camera, being like, go Pack, go." You,
Right.
you can take your dirty money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
If I guess if I got that, that would be really. I would definitely start laughing. I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, of course!" And then I probably would take it. Um, but gosh, damn, that'd be so. I mean, 100% would be still rooting as hard as I could for the Packers, but that'd be really tough. But I guess the only thing I could see is like just getting that cool experiences. Maybe if it's dealing talking to a GM scout
yeah,
or even the players. But I totally understand it. And when I asked the other guys this question, um, it was immediately like, oh yes, of course, I would 100% do that. But I almost lean towards your side too, because like I am 100% the same way. This is a story for another day, but basically got traumatized as a kid, so it was just like there was always instilled in me. I'm like, gosh damn it, fuck them to the nth degree. But yeah, I kind of lead it towards
oh,
to your
you were
side too.
you were traumatized as a kid.
Oh,
Yeah, that
100%. Yeah. I'll have
yeah.
to tell this story another time, but it uh it definitely was. It's kind of funny now, like as an adult I'd be like, aha, that's just silly shit, but as a kid,
No,
your kid brain, you're just like, "Oh my gosh."
you 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 shut your mouth. I want you to grow up as a Sox fan living in Lake Geneva that's got to deal with Brad. So, and and I grew up with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and I was traumatized as a 30 year
Oh, I
old
get it.
man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I get it.
Like, to answer, and I guess to go on with your question, right? Like, if it was anyone else, that I had to.
Like if this was the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh yeah, dude, any other franchise, I'd say yes. Any other sport,
Mm.
like I despise the Minnesota Twins. I would go there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I despise. I think. I hate the St. Louis Blues.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
would go there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
specifically Green Bay.
Oh yeah.
To kind of dumb it down, I guess. But
Yeah.
that's just the meathead in me.
Yeah. I was telling our mutual friend of ours, there's one there. I really don't hate any Bears players on the team. There's two guys I don't like. I honestly I don't really like Caleb Williams personality wise. I respect his game a lot. But the other guy that I hate the most, and I almost in a way respect him, probably more than any other players, but it's that fucking Jaquan Brisker motherfucker, because that dude talks so much shit all the fucking time about Packers fans. It's fucking disgusting. But
Yeah,
I almost respect that because that it they kind of need that person. It
yeah.
kind of like creates that it creates what how I'm feeling right now. So it's like so
Get
in
you
a
all
way I almost
heated.
respect the guy a lot, but yeah, it's kind of funny, but
Yeah, I mean, like um, oh, who's that? Who's that cornerback you have that
Keyshawn
gave up
Nixon.
Nixon? Yeah. I don't like him, and I think he's a bitch. So
Yeah, he's a bit under scrutiny right now because after that first game with the interception, I like Keyshawn Nixon for the most part, but skill wise is very limited. But after that first game against the Bears where he made the final interception, he was all about talking to the media. Oh, 100%. Like he was like, "Hey, let me see a microphone and let me talk a little bit." And then the second game where he covered DJ Moore on that final overtime play, the 60-yarder or whatever, and he was not even seen in the media after the game. He's like, "Nope, I'm not talking." I just can't respect that type of shit where it's like if you're gonna talk your talk when you're winning, but not do it when you're down. It's like I just can't. That shit just kind of rubs me the wrong way a lot. So he's just kind of like that. He'll talk his talk when he's playing great, but if he's not, you'll never fucking hear from him. But yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like how it's a bitch move, especially when like you're making money like that. I don't know, it's just kid shit. So
Yeah, they're just playing football, right? It's a kid's game.
yeah, I mean, it's a man's game.
Right.
but
Right.
it's just young attitude. You're playing in the NFL. It's a very limited pool of like individuals that get to kind of reach that level. And when your pride gets fucking hit like that, it's just you're gonna either show up or get out. And he kind of showed his true colors there.
So my final question is: we're gonna go through all these playoff matchups just this round. We're not gonna pick any Super Bowl, but I just want to hear just a quick who you're gonna pick, and I'll just rifle through these really fast. Who's gonna win each NFL playoff game this weekend? Because it is absolutely what a great NFL weekend we got ahead of us. So I'll
Yeah.
start off
Who?
with the
Okay.
AFC. Who do you
Okay.
have with the New England Patriots against the Chargers?
The Patriots.
Yeah, me too.
I
Bills,
think.
Bills
Okay.
and
Go.
Jaguars.
Oh
It is at
man.
Jacksonville too.
You know what? I'm gonna ride the hot hand. I'll go Jags.
Yeah, yeah. And man, if that happens too, McDermott might be fired, and as he probably should. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the high hand too. Last but not least, in the AFC, your favorite guy, Aaron Rodgers, the Pittsburgh Steelers going against the Houston Texans, led by C.J. Stroud. Who you got
Oh
in
my
that matchup?
God. Talk about a cancer match. Oh my God. You know what?
It is in
I
Pittsburgh too.
yeah. I'll give. You know what? I'll give it to Tomlin. I just think that he has so much more experience in the playoffs. Um, it kind of depends what Aaron Rodgers does. I know you want to be kind of quick with this, but
No,
I
no,
need
go
to
ahead.
justify if I pick Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Right.
but,
Yeah, yeah.
if he turns it on,
I mean, he shows up to be classic Aaron Rodgers time and a couple times out of the year, and the playoff experience between both Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin, I'll go Steelers.
Nice. Yeah. I think I'm leaning towards Houston. Even I want the Steelers to win. I think this is my lonesome, um, pick is the Texans defense is top, like one of the best defenses like this year. I think they're ranked number one in like every statistical category. If CJ Stroud just plays like average to even elite, this whole playoffs rise on CJ Stroud. If he plays fucking good, I think this team could go to the Super Bowl. But next but not least, we'll move to the NFC. You got the Carolina Panthers versus the Rams. Who do you got?
Oh my God. I mean, it has to be the Rams, but could
Yeah.
you imagine
Oh my.
the upset?
Hey! Just 3 weeks ago, the Carolina Panthers beat this team.
I know, I
Crazy
get
enough.
it.
But I have to go Rams. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about a Super Bowl. I mean, Matt Stafford's on fire. I
Puka
mean,
Nakua, Devontae Adams. Yeah.
McVay's a fucking genius.
Mhm.
There's just no. I might have said Mike McVay. I apologize.
No, I think you did. I think you said
Yeah,
Sean.
but yeah, McVay is just a.
He's a beast, dude. I'm gonna go
Rams. But
I will not be upset if that pick gets flipped, though. If Carolina gets the upset, I think that'd be awesome.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? An 8-9 team when going to the division round, crazy. But
Yeah.
second to last game, which I think this is a really interesting one. San Francisco 49ers traveling to Philadelphia, going against the world champ Eagles. Who do you got in that matchup?
I'm going. I'm going Eagles.
Fly Eagles, fly.
I think that one isn't like Purdy hurt or something. Something's weird going on with him.
He's still
Um,
playing, but yeah, he has been hurt this season.
And the Eagles are just this weird team that just I don't know, man. They win when they're supposed to. So
Yeah.
I'll give it to the Eagles.
Yeah. I'm kind of leaning towards Eagles too, but I guess I want the 49ers. I don't know. I hate both franchises so much, but They're good. They're good franchises, but oh man,
As a
that's gonna
Packers
be.
fan, you want the 49ers to win.
Well,
That's
I mean, I man, I don't like. I hate the Eagles fans so much. You know, it's I just hate
yeah.
that they I hate that they got a championship last year. Like it just they're just they're just pieces of shit. They completely destroy their town. They boo every time they go on a 3-and-out. Like it's just like come on, just be realistic. You can't convert
Well,
every single
yeah,
fucking third downs, but they're booing every single time. I think Nick Sirianni's he just seems like a cornball. Like he's just Mr. fucking corny ass, but
yeah,
and trust
for
me,
sure.
49ers have done so much psychological damage to me. I shouldn't be picking them, but I respect Kyle Shanahan and I like Christian McCaffrey. So um,
Yeah, I
we'll
mean,
see.
yeah, I mean, you got a Shanahan guy,
Running your offense now, so
Yeah.
I could see where the mutual respect comes from, but
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Last but not least, who will be winning
The
Saturday
Bears,
night on
the
Amazon
Bears.
Prime? The Green Bay Packers, the 7th seed for the 3rd straight year in a row, or will it be the NFC North champion 2 seed Chicago Bears? Who do you
The
got?
Bears.
Give me a
Um,
score prediction.
Oh, jeez.
uh,
Let's see here. I
Let me
gotta
just
make
say
it a
before you
game.
answer, if this game comes down to a fucking onside kick, let me tell you, no, in that moment, when the onside kick happens, I will be fucking crumbling. Like I will be on the close to death's door in that moment. Like if like
Oh,
you imagine that same scenario comes to onside kick, Bears need to cover it to get a field goal or a touchdown with 2 minutes left. I will be crumbling so hard psychologically. Like I'll be dead
what
inside.
what if it's the other way around, where the Packers have to
I
get an onside
oh
kick?
I'll feel a little bit better about that. It will not the Packers will not recover that ball without a doubt. So I'll just be oh yeah shit we lost.
Yeah.
Which I guess I'll be damaged with that as well. But
yeah, if I'm doing score prediction, um, I mean, the Bears.
I don't know when they'll have another chance to kind of stamp their fucking
To make their mark here, to kind of show that
they're here.
they're planning on being a constant playoff contender. And I think what
I'm expecting is, I could see Caleb going off at home. I think he's a dude that he's not too big for the moment type thing. And
or I'm sorry, let me say that again. The moment's not too big
for him.
mhm.
And
I could see him getting like 3 tutties. I could see a couple rushing touchdowns.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a high scoring game. I'll go let's see. We'll say 33-20. 34-20.
34-20. There's your prediction. Chicago Bears get it done. As for my prediction, it pains me to say this, but ugh, it pains me to say this, but I think the Chicago Bears win this game. It kind of just feels like the monkey is going to get off the shoulders of the Bears fans, and I know this has happened multiple times, and the Packers like kind of win these ones, but it kind of felt like that last game something happened. And to go along I mean, it's going to sound like excuses, but not having Micah Parsons, not having Tucker Kraft, not having Devontae Wyatt, it just seems a lot to overcome with this team, especially these are like 5 of your top 10 best guys, and 2 of them being like in the top 3 of your best players.
I
We'll
mean,
see what
dude,
happens.
top three in the entire league. If you want to
Sure,
make that
yeah,
argument.
no, yeah, 100%. It's just it's going to be tough to overcome. I don't. There will clip this when this happens, or I should say when it doesn't happen. The Packers will not get a single sack unless if it's by a random like blitz, like a cornerback blitz or a safety blitz. They will not get a sack from their defensive interior or their edge guys this week. Mark my word. Rashawn Gary hasn't had a sack in 8 straight games. He hasn't had a tackle for loss in 8 straight games, and you're paying him. upwards of $15 to $20 million this year. It's just there. Caleb will have all day to throw. There might be pressure at times here and there, but he will be able to scramble out and make these crazy throws that he seemingly does. Like you mentioned during these 2-minute drives, it's just I just don't unless if the Packers convert in the red zone and you can get Josh Jacobs going, which he is limping into this playoffs too as well.
Right.
You're gonna need some magical shit from Jordan Love, and could he do it? Maybe, but if I'm putting
But
my
that's just
house on it, not,
yeah.
I'm not. And I know the defense for the Bears hasn't been the greatest leading up to this, but it's
They're
it just kind of
they're
feels
banged
like,
up too.
yeah, they're banged up too. No CJ GJ coming into this game, but you kind of expect Kyler Gordon to come back. What is he gonna do? I don't know. Will he even get like significant snaps? I
Right.
don't. I don't know. But it just kind of feels like it's in Chicago too. It's just not looking good. I will be so ecstatic if they can fucking figure out to get this win, but it just kind of seems like the chips are not in the favor for Green Bay this year. So it pains me to say I think Chicago wins this. Let's say I'm gonna do another close one. It's gonna come down to the end. These first two games came down to the end. I'm gonna say 27-24. Bears with the last second field goal.
All right.
I have one more question for you though,
Yeah.
just kind of before we head off.
Same exact team,
Same play caller, everything's the same, but switch out Love for prime Aaron Rodgers.
Oof. Man, I'd have to pick the Packers, I think. I have to.
right?
Yeah, I
So what
have
does
What
to.
does it say about Jordan Love?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. Comparing, any quarterback to Prime Rodgers, they're not, they're just, to me, they're not going to be, anybody's going to be close to that. But, I
No,
have faith in Jordan Love, but, his
it's more
playoff losses, if he's thrown, he hasn't thrown a lot of interceptions this year, but in his playoff losses, his two playoff losses, he threw two in each one. So if they can somehow mitigate the turnovers, I like their chances. But um,
but you're going against a team
yeah,
that's
you're
got
going
the
against, yeah.
yeah.
So we'll see.
It's more so just a comment on like, how fucking spoiled you guys have been with your quarterback room. I mean, 3 quarterbacks in what, 30 years,
My whole life,
35
my
years.
whole life.
right? So like it's just
Crazy to me that
it kind of comes down to luck.
Love to show if he's got the juice.
Thank you.
And if it kind of comes back and he's like, oh well, it's my team, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, I was off, whatever. You wouldn't normally hear that from a Green Bay quarterback. Usually they find a way to overcome all that shit.
So it's just kind of funny from my perspective to kind of
Hear you face normal problems.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Right. No, yeah, I'm so glad. Like, there's probably 16 teams in the league that are absolutely in fucking shambles right now. We mentioned a lot already, but yeah, it is definitely nice to have these 3 quarterbacks in a row. But this is why you pay Jordan Love the big money for these type of moments. So we are about to find out in less than 48 hours. What's going to happen, or 72 hours maybe. But it's going to be really interesting to see how he comes out. It's going to be exciting, man. I cannot wait. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today. Do you want to plug anything here?
No, nothing to plug right now. Obviously I appreciate you bringing me on. It's always great to talk with you. And I if anything, like I said, I kind of did a plug earlier, but great football guy, great football resources. Harrison Graham over on Chat Sports. He's got his 2 channels, 4 verts, just generalized NFL and college football. Just a generalized NFL and college football channel, and then he does Bears Now. So, if anything, I'll do that. He thinks a lot. He thinks very similarly to the way I do. So yeah, I'll go with that. But
Yeah,
again,
I'll
brother.
plug them down in the description below if anybody wants to check them out. As always, guys, thank you so much. Do me a favor and like this. Comment down below who's going to be winning this game Saturday night. Will it be Green Bay? Will it be Bears? Hey, I can't wait. Thank you again, Sam. And as always, go back, go and your bear down. Right? What's your guys' thing? Bear down.
The Bears. Bear down.
There you have it. Goodbye.
See ya.
All right, stay on.